Hi, my name is Olajide Olagunjo, and I'm the author of the book How to Resolve a Conflict, which I would like to share with you on the screen now. Um, how to resolve a conflict. So that's the book. It's the textbook for the lecture series you've just joined, titled How to Resolve a Conflict. This is How to Resolve a Conflict, lecture 55. Welcome, and I do hope you will enjoy the interaction today. Um, we are discussing the person of the mediator. That's where we are now in this lecture series. And what we do, as usual, is read the text and have a discussion. Um, Today, we are going to be looking at best alternative to negotiated agreement, BATNA. I'll read and then we have a discussion. Finally, even when all else fails, the mediator must help the parties do what is known as conflict budgeting. It may be necessary for the mediator to ask a party these core questions in risk analysis and conflict budgeting. One, to what extent are you able to calculate your risks in advance? Two, is the calculation not rooted in guesswork? Three, if so, should you take the risk? Four, how much of the risk can you prepare for? Five, if you cannot prepare for the risk, should you take them? Six, what are the options? Forgive me, what are the odds on an anticipated risk actually happening? Seven, if it does happen, what are the consequences? Eight, in view of the above analysis, what will you do if the worst occurs? So, let me read them. Answering the above questions will help the parties to work out their best alternative to negotiated agreement, or if you like, their worst alternative to negotiated agreement. WACNA. That is their walk away alternative. This is simply saying that a core duty of the mediator is to help the parties leave the mediation with the best possible approach to their conflict. Let's discuss a little bit. Now, so for example, you are following the 10 steps, 10-step mediation that I designed to ease the conflict resolution process, procedure, and all that. And you are in step 9, which is offer. And you, as a mediator, feel, well, I got a good offer for the parties. And as a good mediator, of course, you see them in caucus, you see them one by one. You don't throw it at them, you don't throw the offer at them when all of them are together, both of them are together in the same room or in the same forum. So you see them one by one to present the offer. You come to party A, oh, this is what seems to be the way forward from what I'm hearing you say to one another. And the party A say, yeah, that will work. Yeah, this will work for us. Say, okay, you go and see party B. You see party B, this is the offer. This seems to be the way forward. What do you think? Party B says no, not acceptable. So you know how this work from step 1 to step 9, only to be told by one of the parties it won't work. So do you just say, oh, parties have not settled, have not reached an agreement? No, that would be a terrible mediator. You sit with this party that is saying no. Okay, where are we going from here? And the truth is that may be when he or she realizes that she's not going anywhere. She has no other option. She has no alternative. Probably just doing grandstanding. But you see, the beauty of it is that he or she doesn't lose face because the other party was not there when they literally shooting themselves in the foot because they are rejecting what will work for them. They are rejecting their partner. So that is the decision of partner. This offer will work, but they're saying no to what will work for them. So when they see, maybe through discussion with them, following some of the suggestions we make here about analyzing their risk, calculating their risk, making sure they're not doing guesswork in their decision, making sure that what the step they want to take is actually what's best for them, and that they are ready to, whatever decision they make, they can face, they can, they can deal with it. It will work for them. It's what will work for them, ensuring they're not making an assumption, ready for the consequences of their decision, taking ownership of their decision, of their saying yes or saying no. So you will have a discussion with them. You don't just say, oh, they said they don't want, and that's the end. No, that's may not be the end. Most likely that's not the end. If you've done a thorough job of running through the steps one by one, up to step nine, where you are showing them what they seems to be the way forward. Most likely they are not helping themselves. They are no, it's not in their favor. Which is why I say they are shooting themselves in the foot, if I may say so. And so at that point, they realize that what you've offered is the best, and they'll say yes. Like I said, they don't lose face because the other party is not there. That's why you need to know. One of the reasons why you see them in caucus one by one, so that you can deal with their problems, their last minute problems. Or can I say, let's see food dragging in quotes. And then they will accept, and they move to the last step, sign agreement. Everybody's happy. They go on with their life. But they may say no to your offer in step 9, or whatever you call that step, where you show them what appears to be the way forward they've arrived at. It may be that, when they tell you no, they have good reasons. Maybe you've done a poor job in the process. Like I said, you own the process, they own the outcome. You do a poor job in the process, the outcome may not be acceptable to them. I told you already in lecture 54 about my mediation student who said, who probably felt my tests were too long. So she short-circuited. He jumped 1 or 2 steps. And then when it was in step 9, the party blew up. I think it was step 9. I can't remember where it was, but it must have been step 9 where it was saying, okay, let's now begin to wrap up in the process of the mediation. We have an agreement. And he said, no. They didn't just say no, they blew up, they got angry, they exploded. I was there, so I know this was real life. It could very well be that you as a mediator did something wrong, did not take a step you should have taken, were impatient at the point, refused to listen to them sufficiently or effectively. Maybe you were distracted. Maybe they wanted to make an option and you didn't give them the room to do that. Maybe you even told them, oh, we have enough options on the table. Not knowing that that last option, that number 100 option, may be the one that will work. So now they tell you no. And they may be able to show you why they can get a better deal elsewhere, outside of your mediation for this particular mediation for. So what do you do? Well, first you have not lost faith because it's just you and this party. The other party doesn't know that mediator probably has made an error. So you could then go back to where you got it wrong. And I've given some examples. It could be step 6 when we were brainstorming. We allow them to brainstorm exhaustively and sufficiently. It could be step 7. They gave you an option and you did not sugarcoat it, make it look good. And so when it is presented in offer, it's rejected because it doesn't look good, it looks offensive. I give an example in one of the lectures where I said, I'm a mediator, you tell me I should go and tell the other party, the person you're having a conflict with, that they have an attitude problem. I won't do that. I won't do that. I will sugarcoat it. Up it in sweet, good, beautiful, flowery language. When the other side hears it, they will never know that the original thing you told me is that they have an attitude problem. That I will remove all the offense. Now, when it is offered to that other party, of course, they will consider it. They may not accept, but they will consider it because it looks worthy of consideration. It looks attractive. So if the party can show you that what you are offering is not the best, it's not the best alternative, it's the partner, then it's a what now? It's their worst alternative. So you need to fix it. Now, like I said, I'll explain how you could do that. Go back, where they get it wrong, and then come back. You should not leave a relationship if as long as parties are winning without giving them the best. They're making sure they give themselves the best. Maybe we'll read it a bit more and then I have a discussion before we close on this discussion on partner and whatnot. Sometimes parties are prepared to resort to adversarial mechanisms to prove their case. While understanding the frustration that makes some parties take this stand, a mediator must help them to determine if it is responsible. Is this really necessary? Of course, when parties had no option than the adversarial conflict resolution system, such a stand might be excused. However, with the option of mediation presently available to parties, it is not only irresponsible, but also imprudent to insist on throwing one's resources into a conflict resolution system whose outcome you cannot determine. This awareness is necessary on the part of the mediator in helping the parties decide on their best alternative to a settlement, which is the mediation, which is what mediation is all about. Well, that's pretty clear. You shouldn't be encouraging the parties to go find solutions in an adversarial forum. Because in an adversarial forum, they may lose in an adversarial forum, like the court, like binding arbitration, like wars, people lose. Well, they will say, oh, there's a victor, that's a loser. But actually, both sides are losers, most likely, because if you win against me, I have had a relationship with you. So I've had a relationship with you over many years. Maybe you're my business partner, you're my spouse, you're my friend, political ally. We have a conflict. And we think the best way out is to go to war, go to court, go to arbitration, binding arbitration, where I'm told I'm the winner, you're a loser. We both lose. We both lost. Because what is probably more important to us, our relationship, is key. So it's a Pyrrhic victory. And so that's why we must ensure that the best alternative, which I strongly believe is in mediation, is sought rather than going to an adversarial method. So if a party says they can get a better deal in a court, I would wonder, seriously wonder. I would rather prefer to go through the mediation process and see what could we have done better? Where do you probably get it wrong? Rather than saying, goading them along to encourage them to go to court. to them. Both the winner and the loser in court, I consider them both as losers because they lost their relationship. You know, as the Yorubas and the Igbo say, you don't go to court and remain friends. Think about that. Please, let's stop here for today. Post your comments if you have any. Read the book. It's available on all Amazon platforms. If you have an issue getting it, let me know. Very importantly, please press the subscribe button. Subscribe to this channel now. Thank you and see you in lecture 56. Bye for now.